we're getting ready for the Ratha Yatra, and there's a way in which we have many Vaishnava holidays and observances throughout the year, don't we? And one way to propel oneself from one period of time to the next and stay absorbed in Krishna consciousness is to always be getting ready for the next holy day. So let's name a few of the Vaishnava holidays that come throughout the year. This is going to be on your SAT. So if you want 1600, then you got to get all these right. So name a Vaishnava holiday. You started off, Shreya. Yeah. Okay, she has Janmashtami for 20 points. Okay, somebody name another one. You. What's a Vaishnava holiday that you look forward to?
Radhashtami.
Huh? Radhashtami for 20 points. You did good. Okay, you name one. Ram and Sita's marriage, very good. Okay, Ramuna?
Janmashtami.
Janmashtami's already taken. You got to do a different one.
Ram Jayanti.
Okay, Balaram Jayanti, 20 points. Yes?
Holy.
Huh?
Holy.
Holy. Okay, holy. You can score on that one. All right, your turn. Give him one. Vaishnava holiday. You can't tell them. You can act it out. You can act it out. Okay, what do you got? Okay, 20 points. Okay. Name another one that hasn't been named yet. A lot of the big ones we've said so far. Go ahead.
Kartik.
Kartik will take it. Very good. Give it to your brother. Name a holy day.
Gita Jayanti.
Haribol. Okay, kids. Name a holiday.
Guru Purnima.
Guru Purnima. Very good. Okay, your turn. Give her one. No. Okay, that's a little intimidating. Okay, would you like to try?
Ram Navami.
Ram Navami, you said? Very good. Okay. Triti, give us another one.
Nityananda Trayodasi.
Nityananda Trayodasi. That's good. Who hasn't gone yet? Pass the mic back. Oh, here we.
Diwali.
Diwali will take it. Okay. What else? Pass the mic up here. Yeah, your turn.
Narasimha Chaturdashi.
Yes, very good.
Govardhan Puja.
Govardhan Puja, yes. Did you take yours?
Yeah, but Radhashtami.
Radhashtami we already got. Yes? Vishwambar is rallying over here because he's got a sponsor.
Gaur Purnima.
Gaur Purnima. There you go. Okay, so, yes, your turn. He's got his hand up way back there. Pass the mic straight back. Let's see what he's got for us.
Ram Navami.
Ram Navami, already said one. Ram Navami. Need a new one. What's he saying now? How about Haridas Thakur's appearance day? Haribol. Bhaktivinoda Thakur's disappearance day. Bhaktivinoda Thakur's appearance day. Srila Bhaktivedanta appearance day. Disappearance day. There's a lot like that too. So, yes.
Bhadra Purnima.
Which?
Bhadra Purnima.
Bhadra Purnima. Yeah.
Bahulashtami.
Bahulashtami. Wow. Pretty good. The appearance of Radha Kund. Yes.
Gopashtami.
Gopashtami. We're getting very Vaisesika over here. Okay. Gaurang, what do you got for us? He's on a roll.
Ratha Yatra.
Ratha Yatra. Yeah. Hiding in plain sight. So, all of these points in time, they're sacred times, and there's a way in which, if we're anticipating them and we get ready for them, how do we get ready for a Ratha Yatra, would you say? Besides the physical aspect of building the carts and things like that, but internally, how do we get ready?
For Ratha Yatra, we build the carts.
Besides building the carts, although that's a big thing, but I mean internally, how do we get ready for it so that we can appreciate the festival itself?
Jagannath Ashtakam and reading the translations to it. helps.
Yeah, and in general, what would you say? Like that's a specific thing that we do, Jagannath Ashtakam and so forth, but in general, how do we get ready for any of these holy days in a way that we'll appreciate them once we get there, or even before we do?
Meditating on the mood of bringing Krishna home.
Yeah, for Ratha Yatra, but for all of them, what would you say is a general category of getting ready for them? I'm just thinking of like one word.
Hearing.
Hearing and
Yes.
studying them, right? When you know what it is, when you have a deeper understanding of what's taking place, then you have this sense of actually appreciating the occurrence itself, right? So what would you say about Ratha Yatra? What kind of things? What's the internal meditation about Ratha Yatra? What's the Ratha Yatra event about internally?
It's like the mood of separation, and we're bringing like Krishna in the form of Jagannath back home to Vrindavan.
Very good. So you know these things. If you know more, please say more. Let's mine the depths. I want to hear more what you have to say. Say some more things about the feelings of separation, where it all started and so forth. The Ratha Yatra, what's it emblematic of?
So Ratha Yatra is like when the gopis are feeling a lot of separation from Krishna, and so they go to, and they basically go and they bring him back home to Vrindavan, and that's basically like the story of.
So where do they go to? Where did the gopis go to bring Krishna back to somewhere? And no, that's what it symbolizes when we're in Jagannath Puri and we're pulling the cart and we're going to where is Vrindavan in Jagannath Puri? Who knows? Starts with a G. Godisha. That's right. But there is an occurrence, and it's in the Bhagavatam, in the 10th canto, that talks about the intensity of separation that the gopis felt, and then they came somewhere to meet Krishna, and they wanted him to come back to Vrindavan from that place. Pardon? No? Who said Kurukshetra? Okay, give her the mic. Say more about it.
Kurukshetra, because Krishna went there to fight for Mahabharata, so gopis went there searching for Krishna.
Kinda. Yeah, here you go. Gaurang, tell us more about Kurukshetra. Kurukshetra, we've already established now, that's the place where this pastime that's represented by Ratha Yatra took place. So tell us more about what happened there at Kurukshetra.
So one time Krishna went to Kurukshetra and the gopis also came and they had a conversation, and there was that story behind it then that Krishna went to Kurukshetra, and then the gopis also came to Kurukshetra for something, and that's how the pastime that's how Jagannath manifested.
Okay. My question is, why did Krishna go to Kurukshetra? Of course, we already heard the gopis went there to meet Krishna, but why did Krishna go to Kurukshetra?
He asked the gopis to come there.
What?
He asked the gopis to come there.
Yeah. Gopis, Krishna, we're getting that a lot. Let's see what was the occasion, or at least the excuse for everybody to go to Kurukshetra? Yeah, you go over here. We need some context here.
It's because Kamsa sent like a lot of demons to Vrindavan, and Lord Krishna had to leave Vrindavan in order to protect his devotees. He went to there and he defeated all the demons so that they would not affect Vrindavan.
Yeah, that's true. But I'm asking a specific question. Risheshwari Leela is going to fill us in, and then Koladwipo hit a sixer out of the park.
So there was a solar eclipse, and on the occasion of the
Are you all listening? Could you all hear? This is on your SAT. Okay. Go ahead. Say it slowly, clearly, and express what was going on there. Yes. Everyone listen.
Kurukshetra is actually Dharmakshetra. It's a very holy place, and solar eclipse is considered to be an inauspicious occurrence for the planetary positions. So, as a tradition, they would go to a holy place, take a dip in a nearby river. So, all the devotees from Dwarka, they made that trip to Kurukshetra, and Nanda Maharaj and all the Brajavasis also came to know that Krishna will be there, so they also went there. And so that was the time, actually, the one time that Krishna actually came back to Vrindavan on the pretext that he had to also, I think, kill or meet someone, I forget. And on that pretext, because Dwarkavasi said, you cannot leave us, we cannot bear the separation. So Krishna said, no, I will not leave you, but I have some work to do. So on that pretext, he went, but of course the inner reason is that he wanted to go back to Vrindavan.
Yeah, because Dantavakra came to Mathura and that got him really close.
Yeah.
Then he was able to sneak back in. Okay, Koladeep?
I think already Mataji explained very nicely.
If you know more, please say more.
Yeah, I just wanted to add one thing that, so the gopis, they also went there to meet Krishna, but again, they did not feel that same ecstasy what they experienced in Sri Vrindavan Dham. So that's why because Krishna was dressed as a prince there, he was as a king, so that sweetness of Sri Vrindavan Dham was not present in that place. So that's why they were pulling his chariot, and they are thinking, or they are pretending that we are taking Krishna from this opulent status to the status of sweetness, which is present only in Sri Vrindavan Dham. And that the verse we actually quote. Yeah.
Very good. Now we're getting somewhere. And in this mood of separation, who first expressed it at Ratha Yatra in a song? And what was the song that the person who sang it expressed? At Ratha Yatra, someone you know sang it. And what was the song? What was it about? And what did it mean in relationship to what Koladeep Prabhu just said? Okay.
I think you're referring to when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sang a kind of like materialistic song. Mm-hmm. And it was about two lovers who were like separated or something like that. And everyone was very confused because it was like a popular song or something. And like, why is he singing this?
Interestingly, they weren't separated. Interestingly, they were together. But the lover, the woman, she's remembering a time when actually they weren't married before. She said, under those circumstances, it was spontaneous and there was moonlight, and I remember how it was and that feeling, I want that again. Like that. You're right, keep going. But I just wanted to correct that one part. Yes?
Yeah, and then I think Swarup Damodar was the person who actually understood Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mood in singing the song. So,
definitely. And who else understood it? Now, I'll give you a hint. Shri Chaitanya Mano Bhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. You're on the hot seat for a minute here. Don't give the mic away. So, what's that verse about that we just sang? Shri Chaitanya Mano Bhishtam. What's Mano?
be mind or?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Manobhishtam means that Rupa Goswami knew the mind of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So how did he demonstrate that he knew the mind of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Let's have somebody who wants to say. Okay. Yes. Halayuda.
So Rupa Goswami, he composed a verse in reference to the song that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sang. And he actually wrote it, I believe, on a leaf, and he left it in the place he was staying. And then Mahaprabhu had come by the same place, saw the leaf, read the verse, and said, "Who knew that? Like, who knew exactly what my mind was at, and it was Rupa Goswami. And the verse that I was referring to in that Rupa Goswami wrote is the one that we sing after Jagannathashtakam, the Priya Soyam Krishna.
And we sing both of them, don't we?
Yeah.
We sing two verses, and we added two more also. But the two verses we sing, one of them is the song that comes just from off the radio. There's no radio at that time, but it's sort of like that. It was like a song that would say, about lovers talking about their love and remembering in a melancholy way, thinking back to it. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sang that at Ratha Yatra, right? And then the other verse we sing is the parallel verse written by whom? Give you a clue, we were just talking about him 2 seconds ago. Everyone say Rupa Goswami. So Sarup Damodar at Ratha Yatra understood what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was doing and why he was doing it, and Rupa Goswami also understood it. That's why he wrote a parallel verse about it. This is really the inner workings of the Ratha Yatra. And there's 2 other verses that we've added onto the list. We could add more, as you know. But these 2 are very important because they have a lot to do with the mindset of the gopis when they're in Kurukshetra and when they meet Krishna after so long. And does everyone know what the 2 verses are that we added on recently? Yeah, so Ahushtate comes last. And what's the one right before that? Ahushtate Nalina Nama Padaravinda as a response to what Krishna says. Go ahead and say it to the mic.
I kind of forgot the last 2 lines, but it's Mai Bhaktir Hibhutanam Amritatvaya Kalpate.
Dishta Yat Asin Mat Sneho.
I completely forgot the last.
Okay, so we'll show the verse, then you can see it. So this is Krishna's advice to the gopis when they come to him feeling separation there at Kurukshetra. And then the gopis answer. Now you say the other verse.
Ahoshchate nalinanabha padaravidam Yogeshwarair hridi vichintyam agadha bodhai samsara kupam
patito
taranavalambam geham jusham api manas yudiyat sadhana.
And just give an idea of what's behind that. We're going into the real deeper meanings of the Ratha Yatra. So it says one thing, but what's the mood of the verse?
So Krishna
and
used
who's speaking it to?
Sorry?
Just say who's speaking it and what their mood is.
The gopis are speaking to Krishna because Krishna used his usual technique of trying to give philosophy as a qualm for the separation that the gopis are feeling. But the gopis are expressing that, we're just simple cowherd women. Just stop giving us this philosophy and come back, and we just want your lotus feet to be awakened within our hearts.
Yeah, and what's the mood, would you say? Or would you say, according to what Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, what's their mood when they say this? It's a little sarcastic and a little angry. They're sort of miffed with Krishna. And they're saying it's like, what are you telling some philosophy to us for? We don't get philosophy. In fact, we don't even get you very much. The way you're talking about how God, it's all God's arrangement, and said, you are God. What are you talking about? So there's a deeper meaning behind the Ratha Yatra. And when we know that, when we enter into it, when we know the circumstances of it, then we know what Lord Chaitanya's pastimes are and why he's doing it. And then when you go to the Ratha Yatra and you sing these songs, and that's what we're going to do. We're just organizing them this morning, making sure all the verses are lined up in order. So when we're there, we're going to be singing the verses that Rupa Goswami wrote, the one that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu chanted off the radio. And then we're also going to sing the verses that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sang in front of Lord Jagannath when he was in front of the cart. Who knows what they are? For 1600 on your SAT. Hint, they're verses you already know. That's a big hint. Besides major pundits in here, who else wants to say or can remember any of them? Koladeep, go ahead. Oh, you got him over here? Okay. Give it a shot before we give it to Koladeep.
Is it Yako Mara Hara?
That's, we already talked about. There are other verses that he said when he sees Lord Jagannath.
So one verse I recall that Na ham vipra na cha narapatir na vaishya na shudra na ham varni kimba vanastha yatirva kim tu pradyan paramanand nikhila paramanand purnamrita abdhir gopi bharta padakamalayar dasa dasa no dasaha.
Exactly. That's one. What's another one? Yes?
So the first one is Namo Brahmanya Devaya, Namo Brahmana Hitaya Cha Jagat Hitaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namo.
Everyone knows that verse, right? Namo Brahmanya Devaya, Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha Jagat Hitaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namaha. That's a nice way to sing it too.
So there is another verse, is famous verse, Jayati Chandani Vasudeva Kichan Baba.
Everyone knows that, right? Say yes.
Yes.
Okay, if you don't know it, you should copy it tonight. You can use your HP copier. And when you wake up in the morning, it's a recommended verse to say right when you first wake up. Jayati Janani Vasu Devaki Janmavado Yadavara Parishat Swar Do Rir Asyana Dharmam Stirachara Vijinana Susmita Shri Mukena Rajapura Vanitanam Arayan Kamadeva. One of the first things you can say when you first wake up in the morning, it's a glorification of all the different aspects of Krishna. And Lord Chaitanya said that verse at Ratha Yatra. If you know more, please say more. Is there any other verses that he said?
Jayati Jayati Devo Devaki Nandano. So Jayati Jayati Krishno. Krishna. Last one, right? Jayati Jayati Krishno. Vrishni Vamsha Pradipa. Jayati Jayati Megho. Megha Shyamala Komalango. Jayati Jayati Prithvi Bharanasho Mukunda.
Yes. So we'll have all these lined up, and then we're going to say all these verses together, and then we'll also say it in front of the Ratha Yatra. You have something? Okay. Okay, for an extra to get 1650 on your SAT, what's the verse that Krishna spoke at Kurukshetra during this time when all the sages were visiting and the gopis were visiting and everyone was there, and when Krishna spoke to all the sages, what's a famous verse that he said that astounded their minds when they heard it? I'll give you a hint. You already know the verse. And it's about people whose mentality is like a cow or an ass. Anybody else? Okay, go ahead, Koladeep. I'm just bringing the context of
yes.
So we have them all gathered in one group, and you know where they're coming from. So then we'll say them all, and we'll learn them all together. And then when we say them, then Lord Jagannath's going to know why we're doing this. He's like, you guys, you went in and read these books, and you figured out what this whole thing's about. And then when we say it, and we know he knows why we're saying it, we're going to feel this really deep connection to Lord Jagannath during the festival. Right? Say yes. Yes. Okay, go ahead, Koladeep.
Yasyatma buddhi kunape tridhaduke swadhi kalatrādeshu bhūmi ichadhi ya yatirtha buddhi shalile na karhechit jane sa avikyesu sa eva gokhara.
Perfect. And it's about? Krishna spoke this to the best sages in the whole universe, and they were astounded when they heard it. And what does it mean?
So it says like those persons who consider their body is made of three elements, mucus, bile and air. Swadhi kalatradeshu bhūmi ichhadi, the expansion of body or the family members are their own or most important person, and the place of their birth is worshipable, and they go to the holy places to take deep, not to associate with the devotees. Their mindset is just like go and khara, means like ass and cows and asses. Yeah.
And the sages said that's the most amazing thing we ever heard. Krishna said that to these very elevated sages. So these verses we'll have to sing together.
Hare Krishna. Can I get an enthusiastic Hare Krishna? So that really sets us in the mood for what we're about to present to you all. Just 1 second till we get the slides up. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Haribo. So today we are doing a very special and exciting release of our merch. A few months back, we had the release of our luggage tags, which was a huge hit. We only have a few left, so if any of you are traveling anywhere or just want some luggage tags to put on your ordinary bags that you use, you can see myself, Arjun, or Parth later, and we'll get you in touch with how to get them. But today, we're here for a different occasion, and that is to talk about our brand and what we're releasing today. One of the main purposes in Youth Jam is to keep the transcendental vibration going. And Narada Muni is a perfect example of this. He's a spiritual spaceman that travels all over the world and different planetary systems and shows everyone the power of the holy name. And as you can see in our logo as well, the Maha Mantra encompasses Narada Muni, and he is the main focus of our brand. In that spirit, we'd now like to show you our brand. Can I get a little drum roll?
Haribol. So these are our sweatshirt designs. So these hoodies are actually 80% cotton, and we tried to get the best quality for everyone. And as you can see in the design here, the front has our Youth Jam text logo, and the back has our Narada Muni logo.
Whoa, wait. Parth, where'd you get that hoodie from?
From the website. What do you mean?
Wait, but why is it a completely different color than the one that's being shown on?
You haven't heard? We have colors now.
Really?
Yeah.
Haribol. So these are all our different colors. So we got a lot of feedback last time when we showed our initial design that a lot of people wanted to choose from different colors. So that's what we worked to get this time. As you can see, there is black, charcoal heather, navy, pale pink, true royal, and white, as well as the charcoal gray that was in the previous slide. All these colors are available in all the different sizes, so you can just choose whatever you want.
So we also prioritize getting convenience for you guys. So we have toddler, youth, and adult sizing to fit for the entire family. And to make it more convenient, our hoodies will be delivered to your doorstep at your home, and we ship internationally, so you can send it to your relatives in India.
Even in Antarctica.
And we're also giving out a shipping discount that can be up to 60% off on the shipping if you order multiple hoodies at the same order. But that's not all. We're also offering a limited time only $29 instead of the $35. So after the program, we'll have some hoodies on the side if you guys would like to check out the sizing or the colors and figure out which ones are the best for you to buy. And if you have any questions, we'd love to answer them. Haribo.
Haribo. So that is our release today. And we'd really like to thank our entire team. Maybe you guys can come out. Haribo! So as you can see, we have real life in-person models for you today that show the different colors. So please do make sure to order. They are running out fast. I'm not joking about that. So please do order as soon as you can. Scan the QR code. And we'd also like to thank Maharaj and Nirakula Mataji, who were the pillars of support behind all of our endeavors. And this is our humble offering to all of you and to Prabhupada and our deities. Haribo.
What was that? Oh. We can also pray for cold weather. Those are good-looking hoodies. That was a really good presentation. Fantastic. Okay. Thank you for that word from our sponsor. And now we're going back to our regularly scheduled program. And what we find here, actually these are the two verses that we talked about earlier. Only the one that was spoken first is the one on the bottom, which is the secular song. And then on top, we have the verse that Rupa Goswami wrote. And we have them ordered like that because of the tune, right? Because normally we're going right from the Jagannath Ashtakam, and so we go right into this tune which is at the top. How do you all feel this earlier discussion we had about the Ratha Yatra? And what are some of your impressions? Just of the discussion and anything that you heard, or the intentionality of discussing it and the remembrance of the verses and so forth. Just some perspective or feelings that you have about it. It can be very objective, but it'd be nice to hear. Yes, Balaram.
I was reflecting on how it's very interesting that a pastime that is so deep with such deep emotions and intimate emotions that the gopis have for Krishna, that Mahaprabhu has for Jagannath, it's part of a public festival. It's probably the only festival where we go out on the streets and take the deities out. And I find that very interesting. Maybe it's also a question, why is that the case? Why is it like the main public festival that we have? Why is that the one with like the most deep emotions?
Why is it?
I was thinking about that, and I was like, maybe I don't know why that's the case.
Well, Lord Jagannath's a Patita Pavana, and it's that he has this sense of wanting to share it with everybody. During the Ratha Yatra, there's that mood. During the year, only certain people can come in. It's really an oddity. But the oddity gets even deeper when, during the Ratha Yatra, they'll invite everybody to come up. And it doesn't matter who you are, they can bring you up on the cart, have you embrace Jagannath and so forth. Especially at the end of the Ratha Yatra, they just stop, and Jagannath actually stays on his cart overnight before he goes in the Gudicha. So a lot of people come and they just pour out mercy. It is his mood of giving that out. Any other thoughts? Yes, Prabhu.
Maharaj, I was hearing from my Guru Maharaj that in spiritual world, every day is a festival. So when I see Ratha Yatras, like it's like these are golden moments in my life. I think, especially the festivals like Janmashtami and Mahaprabhu's appearance day, LA Ratha Yatra, maybe San Francisco Ratha Yatra. These are special days, and these days are meant to be joyous, There is so much pain and agony in this material world. But when I see these days coming in, my mind automatically feels joy. The pain and there's so much pain we go in material life. I don't see that when I foresee these days in my mind.
So true, isn't it? The festivals that we have, festivals anywhere in Krishna consciousness, they're so absorbing and exciting. Festivals we've had here over the years, where everyone comes and we get to do service all day long, hear and chant. Some devotees are out parking cars, but everyone's pulled into the vortex of the transcendental energy. It's very powerful. Yes. Okay, we just have a few more minutes. Yes, please.
When Balaram was mentioning this thing about such a deep festival being so open, I was thinking that even at the same time, when Krishna was there at Kurukshetra himself, during speaking Bhagavad Gita, during the whole Mahabharata, he interacted with so many people, but it was only his devotees that were able to really relish him for who he was. It was like this really massive open secret, because Bhagavan was there right in front of everybody, but there were select few that were able to really take advantage of his presence because they understood who he was. And I was thinking at the same time that in this case of trying to understand Radharani's feeling towards Krishna, I was thinking of the phrase that Prabhupada quoted a lot of Rupa Raghunatha Pade Hoibe Akuti Kabe Hama Bhuja Bose Jugal Piriti, that to understand the love between Radharani and Krishna, it's impossible without the writings of Rupa and Raghunath. And that the work of Rupa Goswami and Raghunath Das Goswami is so readily available for everybody. It's not like Rupa Goswami wrote the book and said, okay, I'm not going to share it with anyone. And it's so easy to take advantage of, and just by simply taking advantage of it, one can very, very easily enter much more deeply into what seems like such a seemingly very simple festival of pulling Krishna on a cart from A to B.
Thank you. Okay, we have a few more minutes. Yes, Prabhu. Shai Madhava. So, and then we just want to hear also how everything's going in your life. After this more esoteric thing, it's good to compare notes, see how we're all doing, what's your realization about your practice of Krishna consciousness in comparison to the world, and how it's all mixing up. Shraya, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. I don't know if I'm right or not, but I will just make a guess. Is this Ratha Yatra, the union of Radharani and Krishna happening in the Kurukshetra, and this what is depicted in this verse, is this like also the Sambhoga and the Vipralamba Bhav they are trying to show there? Radharani is showing the Vipralamba Bhav, that how is she, because there was a union when they were in Vrindavan, and she's remembering that, because now there is a separation, but she's remembering that, so there is a Sambhoga there, and from that she's sort of releasing that Vipralamba Bhav with Krishna.
Yes, and it's happening at a time when they're together. That's the meaning of the verse, of the two verses. Why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was saying the first Yakomara Harat Hitapas. They're there together, but she's saying it's not the same. So although Krishna's right in front of her, and they're there together, she's like, I feel separation from the way it used to be in Vrindavan. You have to come to Vrindavan, because Krishna is fully Krishna in Vrindavan. In the casual mood of Vrindavan, the opulence, there's a discussion of that in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. The very apparently simple surroundings everywhere. The Vrindavan of Sarup Damodar is compared to Srivas Thakur. They're comparing notes. The opulence of Vaikuntha compared to the opulence of Vrindavan. So Radharani is feeling like, okay, I'm here with you now, but I'm feeling separation, because we have to have it in the milieu of Vrindavan in order for me to feel the complete sambhog, or coming together. So how's everybody doing in your life? Any complaints? Huh? Lots? Or something? Yes. And also I'd like to appreciate Ekachakra Pran Prabhu for his very devotional musicianship. It really adds a special element. Thank you.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj. As far as the Ratha Yatra discussion, it makes me realize that I'm just scratching the surface. And I feel like no matter how deep I get into the philosophy, I'm always just scratching the surface. It seems to be unlimitedly deep, and always something new to learn and to hear and to experience. And then I'm thinking about my own life in a similar way. I feel like I'm just scratching the surface with this community. About 1 year ago, I wanted to move here, but I had no idea how it was going to happen. And since then, Krishna made these unbelievable arrangements to make it so effortless to come here, and I see everything that's going on here, and I feel like we're just scratching the surface, and there's unlimited potential in this community to spread Krishna consciousness. I see all the youth, and it's just unbelievable how dedicated you all are and how learned you all are. I'm just so happy to be here, and I just can't thank you enough for welcoming me into your community.
Haribo! What about those complaints? You know, there's a passage in one of Prabhupada's books. It's one of the small books. I'm trying to remember which one it was. I have it on my hard drive. But he says one of the ways that you can pray to Krishna is by telling him how you're being tossed in the ocean of material existence. After all, if you're going to complain, you might as well complain to Krishna, because nobody else can do much about it. Like, yeah, I can appreciate that. I was once having a really, there was a kind of an existential crisis going on, and I met one of my very senior godbrothers. I was in Vrindavan, and I was just really tense inside about a situation that was going on, and so I told him about it, because he's been around longer than me. He's seen it all. And he held my hand, and I told him the whole thing. He goes, it's a cruel world. And he, he walked away. And I thought, yeah, what else is he going to say? You know, I was just realizing, like, you want to tell Krishna, you can tell him, and there's a sense that, well, he knows what it is. And also, as Keshava Krishna Prabhu was reading this morning from Niranjana Swami's writings during the pandemic, he wrote a book called The Nectar of Lockdown. And in it, he was talking about Krishna as a chess player and how far ahead he is in moves. And we may take all these instances in our life as, oh no, that's it, I'm finished. But actually, it turns out, when you get to the end of the board or halfway through, it's like, oh, I see. That's how the move was made. I wouldn't have been able to make it to this point without that. And I always appreciate Kardama Muni and his soft-heartedness and the way he just put his life in Krishna's hands. When he met Lord Narayan, he just said, here's my situation. And then Lord Narayan said, yeah, I know. And he felt so compassionate for his devotee that he shed a tear there. Can you imagine that? He comes there and he sees his devotee so sincerely trying and practicing that he shed a tear. And now there's that sarovar there where that grew from the tear of Lord Narayan. So just saying it to Krishna, like, this is what's happening with me, this is what's going on. Okay, what else? How are you doing in your life? What are you realizing? You're in the human form of life. We're here just passing through. So what are you seeing, hearing, learning from your experience? Okay, Avantika.
Yesterday in Youth Jam, we were reading about how in the Krishna book, when during Krishna's name-giving ceremony, it talked about when Garga Muni entered Nanda Maharaj's home, he was being treated like the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and went into a lot of description about how they were treating him and welcoming him in. And I was reminded of the signs of self-realization at the beginning. When Mrs. Nixon is interviewing Srila Prabhupada, she asks him questions such as, why are you the founder Acharya of ISKCON? Why are your disciples giving you a golden car? And she seemed to be digging up some scandal that wasn't there. And Prabhupada so simply and straightforwardly just explained how the Guru should be treated like the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They're their representative. And I was just awestruck in that moment, being reminded of the SSR and how the Vedic culture sets such a good example of how we should be treating others, and there's no more to it than what it is.
Thank you very much. Nice. Can't see who that is. You're hidden. Oh, there you are. Okay.
Well, you were just discussing about material problems and things like that. It reminded me of a story. I might be remembering it wrong, but in Indudumna Maharaj's diary, he wrote that one time, after a long time of separation from Russia, he went there again, and he saw that there were a lot less devotees than he previously remembered. So he asked a devotee, "What's going on? Why are there so many less devotees here?" And I think the response was that, "Oh, Russia became better, or their good times now happened." So a lot of devotees kind of gave up on Krishna consciousness. So that kind of reminded me that Krishna shouldn't be used as like a coping mechanism. It should be, we shouldn't forget the goal of Krishna consciousness, which is Krishna Prem. So,
yeah, I remember that era. I mean, in the beginning in Russia, because everybody was held back, it was a capital crime to preach there. And some devotees risked their lives to go there, including Devamrita Swami, to smuggle in books and teach Krishna consciousness. And some of the devotees there, when they got a hold of the books, they started what were highly illegal copying practices. And we would take for granted now we have parking lot full of books, and we openly pack them, we openly distribute them. Hardly anybody ever says anything to us. But over there, it was punishable by imprisonment, torture, death, and some devotees were tortured because they were so convicted that they kept distributing books there. And then perestroika came, and things loosened up with Gorbachev, and then it became, at first, when everyone had the opportunity in Russia to take whatever they wanted, there was a mad rush to get the books. And there are descriptions of some devotees there of how working in the mines, they didn't earn that much, but they would spend a quarter of a year's salary just to get a little set of books because it was so valuable to them. And then gradually, as the standard of living increased, then people forgot. And they thought, oh, it's okay. In fact, I'll tell you another statistic that goes along with this abide. In prisons, I have one disciple in prison, Balavan Nitai. Had to initiate him in the prison. You all know the story, I think. But he's in for life with no possibility of parole. So the devotees were telling me in the prison ministry, he's got a better chance than most of being fully Krishna conscious, because he said, and I've seen this myself in corresponding with prisoners, that they may be very sincere and enthusiastic, but as soon as they get out, and all the prison ministry people have been there a lot longer than I've had any connection with it. They said once they get out, the rate of survival is 0. But that reminds us of Haridas Thakur when he got thrown in jail for chanting Hare Krishna, and all the prisoners came over and said, "Wow, we have a sadhu in here," and he said, "I bless you, stay as you are." And they said, "What are you talking about? We're in jail." And he said, No, not like that. Stay in this mood of appreciating that this is the rarest of rare opportunities, and you may never get it again. And see, that's a nice point you brought up. Very good. A couple more? Summertime, we could stay all night. Yes.
Hey, Krishna. I was reflecting on something that my friend told me recently, and her practice is that almost every day she'll make sure to write a letter to Krishna, whether that's like on a piece of paper or on her phone, and it's just like capturing everything that happened in her day or whatever thoughts that are going on in her mind. And she shared some of her notes with me, and I was very touched by how personal and special her relationship with Krishna was, because it was as if she was speaking to her best friend, or like every detail was included in it. And so I tried that practice this week, not in exact ways that she was doing it, but in other ways, just like whether it was talking to Krishna or showing him like my computer screen and like the grade I got for her test. And it just felt really like special, because oftentimes I feel like I take it for granted, and I only turn to Krishna when I'm going through something really difficult in my life. But this week, just being able to turn to him for the big and little things was really exciting in a way, and kind of something that I was looking forward to every day to
That's
do.
nice. That's very nice. Very well. Sheshwari Leela.
when you were answering Balram's question, you were talking about Patit Pavan Jagannath, and I was thinking that I don't know if I heard this in a lecture, but I just thought that Jagannath, when we have his darshan, when he's coming out, to board his ruts, the thing we can see is his big eyes, and as they say, the face is the index of the mind and the eye is the index of the heart. So I was just thinking that Jagannath's, like Krishna in the form of Jagannath, showing his heart, his big eyes, is how Patit Pavan, how merciful he is.
We felt that when we were in Jagannath Puri. Recently we had a big Harinam program right outside of the Patita Pavana Jagannath Darshan area. And it was really ecstatic being out there and having him watch us do the Harinam. It was very special. And I resonate with your point about seeing his big eyes and feeling that heartfelt energy that he was giving us. I really won't go all night. I was just kidding. In case anybody's freaking out. Okay, go ahead.
Hare Krishna. So since you were mentioning about the summer, I was remembering yesterday we were at we tried a new location, which is New India Bazaar in Milpitas. So this was suggested by Govind Prabhu, and when we went there is no place to set up the table. In the sense, it's all lot of sun. It's really hot. So we were thinking that nobody will stop to make a discussion. Devotee is not worried about that they will be in the sun, but generally people don't stop if there is no shade. So, but somehow we got started, and we tried to set up something. We tried to talk to people. We tried to take permission. It was really slow. And suddenly we saw Nitai Kirtan Bihari Prabhu from nowhere. He was doing shopping there for groceries. And then he said, we happily ran to him because we were struggling. Then he said, here, spot, no worries, I know these people. And then then when we went inside with him, there was some change of the manager there, and there were some new people there, and they were like, you guys, let me come out 2 minutes. And they came out, they gave us a very nice spot. They said, you want to stay in shade? They made 2 rounds and maybe you stay here. But finally we set it up. And then we were trying to distribute slowly. One set was done, and it was really, really hot. I don't know what was the temperature. Some of us had hats, but not everybody. And devotees were, the sweat was dripping down, and there were some, lot of people were doing shopping of groceries because it's a grocery shop. And then there were some people lined up for sugarcane juice and fresh orange juice. And there was fresh hot jalebi. I don't know how people were having. So it was like, how do we stop them? We were all meditating and we were praying. And I was thinking, I got some water. I'll offer water to the devotees. And then suddenly this girl, she comes with the fresh squeezed orange juice for all the devotees, and she with the straw and the cup, and she offers to everybody. She said, please, and she got those square plastic boxes for us to sit. You please sit, you have this, and maybe take some rest. And we were like, wow, that's so nice of you. And it turns out that there are 3 sisters. They are from Kurukshetra. They're working there in that shop. And as they brought the juice, everybody was, devotees very happy, sipping the juice. And they started showing their phone. They had gone for Vrindavan Yatra. They go every time they visit. Every time they go back to home, they go to Vrindavan. So they started showing the pictures of Radharaman, Banke Vihari, Govardhan, and all the kirtans there. And it was like everybody forgot it was hot. We were all in Vrindavan, and we were watching all these videos and pictures they took there and all their yatra. And it felt like a cool breeze. And it was very, very welcoming. And meeting devotees is very special, of all that atmosphere. So started with meeting Thai Kirtan Prabhu, then these devotees from Kurukshetra. And then it felt so much energy after that, and some of the people, very nice people we met, and we were able to distribute 9 Bhagavatam sets over there. And donation was also a little over 1,000, some still pending. But the point is that, meeting the devotees made all the difference in yesterday's yatra. Thank you.
Well, it's been a great week, nice weekend. And I've been thinking, somebody mentioned to me that why don't we have a yatra in Vrindavan sometime? I've been trying to figure that out. Because, was that you? Who was telling me? Maybe it was Hansapriya. Who? Shamalangi? Okay, Shamalangi, thank you. I really want to go to Vrindavan, go with everybody to Vrindavan. It'd be really nice. Just trying to figure out when we do that. Because in December we could do it, but it's really cold and foggy. I don't mind, but it's a little harder flying, and you don't care. It'd be really ecstatic. The last time we did a yatra in Vrindavan, usually I go to Vrindavan during Kartik and I just go to Govardhan as soon as possible and just stay there. It's my nature. But Divyanam Prabhu got me moving more because he said, can we just you do 5 days of yatra in Vrindavan before you go to your little perch over there? And I said, oh, all right. And I had such an ecstatic time. We went around with the devotees there to Nandagram and to Varshana. And we went through Vrindavan and we went to Madan Mohan. It's just so many beautiful memories being there with the whole group. And the sun was coming up at Madan Mohan and we were having bhajans there. And just being in the atmosphere of Vrindavan together was super nice. So I'm just thinking, if we can pray to Krishna, that we can all go to Vrindavan and have some yatras there. You all just have to figure out what time you want to go, and we'll plan ahead for it. Lord Chaitanya said that you should always live in Vrindavan. And if you can't be there physically, you should live there within your heart and mind, and always think of it and remember it. So it's good to make a relationship and be there as much as possible when we can. Dear Srila Prabhupada, dear Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Shri Shri Panchatattva, Shri Shri Gaurnitai, Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan, Shri Shri Lakshmi Shringadev, if you so desire, please transport us all to Sri Vrindavan Dham so we can hear and chant at your lotus feet there and see Jamuna and Govardhan Hill. Please also help us to smash our 3,000. Please help us beat Pune. And please help us all get to 34. Thank you for considering our request. Om Tat Sat. Everyone agrees with these prayers in whole or in part. Please unmute and say Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Panchakalpataruscha kripasandhvevacha patitanam bhavanyo. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.